say who we're playing for the video and the people who need to do the video. I'm going to be Mr. First.
I'm gonna be the witness.
I am Mr. Moore.
And I am the court.
All these going. This will be a cross-examination.
All right, cross-examination.
Good afternoon, officer.
Good afternoon.
Were you the first officer to arrive and speak with Devon Adams and Josh Gerard?
Yes, sir. I was in the first few numbers to arrive. The other officers set up the perimeter, and I actually made contact with him at the door.
So fair to say it was, well, you estimated it took you 5 to 10 minutes to get there?
Yes, sir.
So it would have been 10 to 15 minutes before or after the 911 call came out,
Yes, sir.
before you had any contact with these people.
Yes, sir.
And you described Devon Adams as angry.
Yes, sir.
I believe you said he seemed very angry, maybe a little nervous.
Yes, sir.
Is this the first time you had come in contact with Devon Adams?
Yes, sir.
First time you came in contact with Josh Gerard?
Yes, sir.
You had never seen Josh Gerard under a stressful situation before?
No, sir.
You have no idea how he reacts to stressful situations?
No, sir.
Same would be true for Devon Adams.
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't mean to parse words with you, but I believe your testimony was you had Mr. Joshua sign into his iCloud account.
I asked him. Yes, sir.
You asked him to,
Yes.
and he did that willingly.
Yes, sir. He did it willingly. Took his hands and logged in, put in his username and password.
What device was he using?
He used an iPad.
Where did it come from?
It was Devon's parents' iPad.
So you gave him an iPad you believed to belong to Devon's parents?
Yes, sir. I asked them, do they have something we can use to log in to try to track the phones?
And that was connected to the internet by Wi-Fi in their house, as far as you know. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And as far as you know, Josh Gerard doesn't live in that house.
Yes, sir.
And he, on his own accord, put in a name and password, or a password and user identification that worked, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that actually tracked the phone at the request of the police?
Yes, sir. I asked him.
And then after that, when there was a malfunction and you asked him again, he again put something into the device. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And when that didn't work, the first thing he said to you is, my password is not working.
Properly, yes, sir.
And that's what you reflected in your report.
Yes, sir.
You did file a report in this case, is that right?
Yes, sir.
You didn't put anything in your report about car keys, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
You did or did not?
Did not.
Fair to say there is a whole conversation about how many cars he owns, and it didn't strike you as important that time.
Yes, sir.
That is correct.
I didn't hear you.
Am I correct in saying that the whole conversation that we just listened to about what car he was driving and why, that didn't strike you as important at the time, right?
No, sir, not at the time, because all I seen was a set of car keys. At that time, I did not know that the other officers located a red Ford Fusion. If I had, I would have investigated a little bit more.
But you wrote this report after the fact, correct?
Yes, sir.
After all that investigation had been done.
Yes, sir.
And you still didn't deem that conversation important enough to mention in your report.
No, sir.
And you weren't with Josh Gerard the whole time the police were on the scene. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I was at the residence the entire time between talking to Mr. Joshua, Mr. Devon, and also his parents.
And there was a time when Mr. Joshua, as you were referring to him, was speaking to Detective Bradley,
Yes, sir.
and that was not in your presence.
Yes, sir. It was in my presence.
Where did that happen?
That occurred in the detective's vehicle.
Were you there in the vehicle with him?
Yes, sir.
Any other police officers that were there with him the whole time?
Sergeant Heckscher was also inside the residence as well.
Thank you. That's all.
Let's take a short break before we continue with redirect.
Anybody need names?